welcome back. We are here for part 2 with Luna Stower. If you missed part 1, as always, pause button, go back, check out part 1. You must hear the origin story. To date, it is the earliest origin story that we are aware of on the show. Team is going to fact check that, but I'm pretty sure it's right. So, all right, Luna, we're going to try something a little different on the second half. Under just, the way it works. I like to be always doing things differently. I'm going to give you words that I've heard in cannabis or been reading about, and I want your reaction. We're going to do a little quick hits version here. Normally we reserve our quick hits for our live interviews, but we're going to change it up today, and we're going to do it right now. So Luna, when I say hemp versus cannabis, what say you?
Same plant.
Same plant. And if I say yeah, but regulations, you say?
Fuck the regs.
Look at that. Love it. Okay. So for you, what scheduling is Luna doing? Is she 3? Is she D? Where does she fall on the schedule game?
D till I die. Deschedule, decriminalize, destigmatize till I die. We do not play with Schedule 3. We do not play with pharma. We have seen what pharma has done to our communities. We do not trust pharma. We trust the plant.
That's it. That's what I like to hear right there. Trust the plant because it's done nothing to not deserve your trust. You know what I'm saying? Like, it hasn't betrayed you in any way. Yes, let's not. Again, yes, I know. Before you DM me, I'm aware people can't tolerate it. I'm aware people get sick from it. Please, I am a man who works in the majority of a number. I try never to worry in the small fraction of a number, because otherwise it mucks to the waters. Okay, so I know before the DMs come in, I'm well aware people get sick.
It's not for everyone.
Exactly, it's not for everyone. Neither is alcohol. Neither is mushrooms. It's okay if you don't do mushrooms. You know what I'm saying? Okay, on the mushroom take right now, I say microdosing. Luna says what?
I like mid dosing.
Okay. Okay. So look, I'm just
not mids, not to be confused with mids dosing. Just mid.
Exactly.
Dosing.
I was gonna say I'm just a dosing guy. That's my problem. My only question I've ever had with hallucinogenics is just to get a reassurance of the time frame. That's all I need to have a good time.
You're like, so it's 8 to 10, right? They're like,
yeah,
you're like, cool.
Like, that's it. Like, I had a girl at a dead show at Alpine Valley. She comes by. It's a super hot day. She puts this like water right down the middle of my spine. I'm like, oh, that was cold and beautiful. She's like, yep, that was liquid. Enjoy the trip. And I'm like, hold on. Now that's not even cool. But
first of all, yeah, consent first.
Consent. You don't have the right guy, or you have the right guy. Lucky you. Only question, how long? She goes, oh, babe, I'd set back for 12 to 15. I was like,
fair. Thanks for the heads up.
And at hour 14, I was like, okay, guys. She told me, I think she was wrong. Do you know what I'm saying? I think I'm going to be in this a while longer. Someone else has to drive, but we're good. We're good. So yeah. All right. So microdosing, mid-dosing. I like it. Your definition of mid-dosing.
Microdosing means sub-perceptible, and macrodosing is a heroic dose that renders you pretty much in a different realm. I like to do everything in medium doses. I don't like macrodoses of anything. I'm 41 this year. I've done macrodoses of multiple substances. I am doing my spiritual and energetic work a lot of times in a very slightly inebriated state, like maybe a little bit of cannabis or a little bit of mushrooms or a little bit of LSD, but I'm not going hard in the paint anymore. I don't derive much benefit from it. Once a year, I'll maybe do a macrodose of mushies or kind of like go a little heavy on some L, like once a year, maybe if I'm with friends in Vegas and I'm not driving and it's safe and blah, 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 I will. But I'm about the middle way. Like the Buddha says, you don't want asceticism and you don't want gluttony. You don't want to overdo. I mean, obviously, like there's times for microdosing. If you're working through depression, microdose all day. It'll solve many problems. If you need to break through and you need to get past some serious childhood trauma or figure out what's going on or talk to the divine, macrodose is all day. But for me personally, I like to feel it. I don't need to microdose. I'm not trying to build new neural pathways in my brain and not feel it. I want to see the sparkle. I want to have the tear in my eye. I want my heart to flutter in ways. I want to say poetic things, and still be able to drive in an emergency. You know, so to your point, like I can drive on a mid dose of almost anything.
Sure,
You know, so and I'm not recommending other people do it. This is my personal opinion. Is I don't want to. It's also, you know, and I'm not saying that the microdose community is doing this in any way. I err more towards microdosing, but there's this in like the way that people are crafting cannabis beverages and cannabis edibles, like this whole moving away from the taste of cannabis, moving away from the smell of cannabis, kind of in a way. I understand why we do it and I support it, but I want us to also question like this like fear, hatred, shame, denial, this like sitting in the back parking lots on a stoop, like hiding in the dark shadows with our weed, like or any substance. It's like it's like I'm not afraid of smelling and looking like it. I'm not afraid of tasting it. I'm not afraid of getting a little high. Like this whole experience of like, oh, get high without the high, or like have it without the this, and everyone's removing the things about it that make it a drug, that make it fun to do drugs. Like I like this. I like it. Like I like that my smell hands, and like I like that I smell like weed. Like that makes me happy. So and I like to be like, oh shit, I can feel the mushies instead of microdosing, and then halfway through the day be like, oh shit, I think I microdosed this morning. Like I don't personally need that. I want to feel the medicine in my body and name it as such.
I love it. The I want to feel part. I love it. And I believe in moderation. It's how I can be an addict of all of the addicts. You can throw any of them at me: sex, drugs, work. I qualify as an addict of all of them. And the only way to survive all of it without some 12-step program that never worked for me was the concept of moderation, was the concept of that, like, if I can just decide to make better decisions, you know. But now my Reiki gal she's kind of challenging me that, like, I don't need drugs at all. And so we're having arguments, you know, at the end of Reiki sessions where she's like, so can we like lay off? I'm like, no, we can't. And like, let's just work on what we're working on. Because you mentioned it, childhood trauma. I was 18 years old in the desert of Arizona, like any good story, with the smallest piece of peyote that ruined my mind, my body, and my soul for a solid 25 hours. And it was scary at points because I relived a lot of that shit all in front of me. And I thought that I had dealt, right? So I was like, fuck yeah, like, look at me. You know, I did it. I'm 18. I dealt with all this. Having put it all away and never thought about it again until I was 35, you realize quickly that that's not what you did. You gave yourself a great jumping off point. And had I followed up on it, had I gone and done more work, had I been more involved and willing to go deeper than just being so proud that drugs had shown me the way when Dare told me it wouldn't, I did myself a disservice. And I think that a lot of people could benefit, you know, from the mind expansion to deal with that trauma. It's, you know, everyone's is different, but we all have it. And if you ever meet someone without it, man, I don't know. I'd have to I think I'd have to call somebody else to verify, like a helpline, you know, be like, is this possible? Can someone not have trauma? But yeah, it's great that you say that, Luna. All right, next topic, Luna. Global cannabis travel. What say you?
Not for the faint of heart or the broke.
Oof, not for the faint of heart or the broke. Okay.
It's expensive and it's not legal there. Unless you're in London and you get a European-wide accepted medical card. Going to Spain, like, it is not chill to travel with cannabis. Mind you, both Sean and I are personally comfortable doing it because we know that it's our medicine and we know that we know our patient rights, and we don't intend to distribute or to sell. Never. So we have a personal amount, documentation that shows that we're a patient. And I always joke, and I'm not like, knock on wood, I'm not trying to welcome any drama, but like, if they get me, they got the wrong one, or maybe the right one. Like, I am the last one that these people want to have in a room trying to bully into thinking that there's something wrong with what I'm doing. Like, I know my rights.
Yeah, and people have always been like, well, Sean, it's not. So, Luna, when I was younger, I used to work for a company called the Men's Warehouse. It was founded in California by a great man named George Zimmer. I used to have.
I gave him a dab. I gave that dude a dab at one of our parties one time.
Okay, all right. So, Luna, I was in his private jet flying from one. I was one of the youngest managers in the history of the company, and we were flying around, and so he just, the fucking jet is full, right? And it's just the dude smokes everywhere he goes. It's why he couldn't buy a baseball team. It's why the board wanted him off the Men's Warehouse board. His dedication to the plan has been incredible. So we're in Florida. He gets off the
plane. I didn't know that. That's wild.
Dude, he sparks a fat joint right in the middle of Florida. The guy next to him goes, you know, we're not in California. He goes, I got a medical card. And the guy goes, the medical card says California. He goes, yeah, it says something, don't it? And he just goes about his business. He doesn't stop. doing what he's doing. And it just,
we love you, Mr. Zimmer. You're an American hero. Protect this man at all costs. He's a national treasure.
I agree. The man is a treasure. It was awesome being that close to someone that larger than life. Anyways,
and confident, like that true, not arrogant, confident.
No, confident. Hey, I have decriminalized cities that make me feel more confident. Like the city of Madison is decriminalized. So when we were down there for our Hemp Fest this summer, everyone was smoking weed, and it was like, wow, this is really what's possible. There weren't even police. Forget anyone watching. There were none around, and people for 6 hours, you thought you were somewhere completely fucking different. Quickly, though, on the global travel, Spain, you wrote up a piece about it. You sort of scared the shit out of me because I have heard like that Madrid is like the drug capital of the world and come score the world and you can go have fun and fucking party. That is not what I read from you. Please help me understand what is happening out there in a place like Spain as it relates to this plan.
So the same way that there's like differences between one coast and the other here in the US, Madrid and Barcelona are the same way. They are completely different. So Barcelona is very progressive. Madrid is not as progressive, but still they're both it's a very Catholic country. And they do believe that drugs are all one thing. They don't see cannabis necessarily as different. This is just from a regulatory perspective. And Barcelona just elected a new mayor or governor that's like really, really anti-cannabis. And he's shutting down all the clubs. They've been raiding the clubs, and they just moved Cannabis to Bilbao, which is a little coastal town, because they have to demolish the venue that we've been having it in for 20 something years. And like they have to move it. And there's the only other big enough venue to house all the tens of thousands of people that come through this show is the World Expo, like the World Congress or whatever. And they won't rent to us because we're cannabis. So it's discriminatory. I got arrested when I was out there, or not arrested. I was detained by the police when I was out there for having cannabis on me. And it was a very traumatic experience. Obviously nothing compared to what folks of color have to deal with here in the United States. But you go there for an event thinking that it's like positive, and like the culture, the underground culture of Barcelona is incredible. These clubs are better than any consumption lounge I've ever seen in the United States. They're super warm and inviting. The people are incredible. The art culture, the nightlife culture, just the hash culture, the headiness, how much they honor California, all of that is so strong and so rich and so beautiful. But the cops will literally wait for you outside of a social club because they're private clubs, and they'll like shake you down. Like it doesn't happen all the time, but you have to leave and like walk all the way down the street. They don't have a sign. You can't have any branded products. You can't leave the store with products. If you do, you have to hide it. Like it's intense. It's really not legal. And even in Germany, it's legal in some ways, but once you have over an ounce, you get like 10 years in prison. But under an ounce, it's completely illegal. But then over an ounce, you got 10 years in prison. So it's like they're legalizing it, but in a German way. Everything has to be properly dosed. They're not into hash or concentrates. They are like trying to reinvent the wheel from the very beginning because they're Germans and they think that they can do it better.
Yeah, that makes sense. Here in Wisconsin, they tried to do this last time they talked about legalization was going to be 5 state-owned dispensaries. And finally, even the red side of the state was like, wait, we don't want to deal with the DMV of weed. Why did anyone even bring this up? Why are we trying to even talk about this concept? All right, Luna, last question we have for you before we let you go. You've been great. Right now, Luna's favorite way, because it's an interesting question because you have a history in vape. But right now, what's Luna's favorite way to consume, and what is it?
Oh, I dab all day.
Okay. All right. So
I dab all day, but I do love a spliff. Big fan of a spliff.
I like that.
I home grow, so I have my own cannabis and then a little bit of organic tobacco, a little 80-20 mix with coffee in the morning or late night when you need a little like zing. I love that shit. Or a blunt. I don't roll them or buy blunts, but if someone passes me a blunt, I'm like, love that. We call it the spliff molecule.
I love it. I love it. All right. Well, Luna, thank you so much. We really appreciate your time. You've been a great guest, and I cannot wait to share this conversation with everyone. As always, Fat Nugs Magazine, thank you. Thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for helping out Legacy, Veteran, Women-Owned, you name it. Their brand partnership works for just about everybody. Thank you so much to them. Luna, have a great week. And again, we're going to have you back on the show. And next time I run into it at a show, we're definitely going to do some live content.
Absolutely. And wanted to also shout out Champs. I'm working with them as their director of mycology now, and retail education. So if you guys are around for the July show, it's July 23rd through the 26th. 22nd to the 26th, I think. It's a 4-day show. And we're going to be rocking out mycology, all things. If you're into mushrooms, please come through. It's the largest B2B trade show in the world, the largest counterculture expo. 1999 is when they started, so it's 26 years running. And really proud to be a part of the Champs family. So come through and support.
And where's that at, Luna, for those who don't know?
Las Vegas Convention Center. There's also one in Atlantic City in May. There's one in Chicago in June, and then the one in Vegas is in July, and then probably in the fall we'll see one in Austin, Texas, if they don't ban everything.
Please send me the details for June. Chicago is just a stone's throw away for us, a couple hours down south from us, up north here. So send me the details on that, please. Love to look into that. If they're accepting press, love to come through. Yeah,
it's the 6th, 7th, and 8th of May. Stoked to see you guys there. I'll be there.
Sounds awesome. Thank you so much, Luna. Have a great week.
You too.
Thank you, everybody. Remember, remove the stigma, uplift the plant. That's our goal. We hope it's yours. We'll see you again next time.